Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Jankyard. As always, I am your host, The Treatment, the hype man of the evening. And today we have got something special. We've got a best of three match. This is a new tournament going on, run by by Fred. For qualifier, it's called the APQ. It's I think the first time we've ever run a multi-game format, which is pretty cool. The Ashes Pioneer Qualifier is what it's fully called. And this is a tournament in which the players have had to submit 3 decks, so it's an open list format. And the deck reveal was done, a couple nights ago, by Fred and ebfritz, who are also conveniently our players for this evening. So they went through everyone's decks. There are a lot of really cool decks. I'm very excited to see the ones tonight, as well as all the games moving forward. The replays are mandatory in the submissions, so they will be available. Basically, once you win with a deck, you can no longer play it. So it's, fairly straightforward, fairly simple. There's no like banning one player's decks or anything like that, but this is going to be very exciting. 20-minute clocks for both players. So we'll see if we get to 3 games. Otherwise, whoever's first to 2. And I'm going to jump us over to, let's see, we've got, where are we? I gotta make sure that I actually have them up and running. So we'll transition over, and make sure, why are they not there? Because I have the wrong input, that's why. All right, cool. They're in game. I'm gonna hop in. This is gonna be something special because there's like mind games in terms of which deck you pick to start with, depending on what you think your opponent might pick to counter that. And then if you win, you have 2 remaining decks, and so that's in itself another very fun choice against your opponent's remaining 3, because they could still replay the same deck. So here we are. I'm going to let them know we are ready. And to everyone who's in chat, I see at least shadows in chat. If you're watching at a later date, let me know how I did. Let me know if there's anything I could describe better. This is always for the people, because otherwise there's no reason to do it. I just want people to enjoy the best game. The best game there is. I probably need my glasses to actually see properly. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I should also, realistically, I should pull up the lists, but I'll do that in the on the side here. So we've got ebfritz starting with his aggro Koji list. This is a list that he is sort of refined over the last year or two. When I first played him, when he was sort of new to the community, I remember seeing this guy running a almost rainbow Koji that just spit out units and ran me over. Really, really cool. And so he's continuing that on his refinements. And then we've got Fred, who is trying to prove a point. And he's playing a Demona deck. It's one of his many iterations. This one, I believe, has a River Hippo. And yeah, he's trying to prove that Dragon needs to be chained, because I previously said that I don't think it does. It just does really well into the current meta with all the weenies going around. And of course, the deck that Fritz is playing does lean on the weenies because it is very aggressive, but it's also possible that he plays something like a double Knight Open. It could be double Sonic. He's got a lot of options. So we'll see what happens. We've got Fred rolling the most basics and choosing to go second. So that tends to be where, you play a dragon near the end, sweep the board, get another top of the round swing. If they have any defenders left, they're also gone. And so you get in some nice punches and nice AoE. This is going to be exciting. I mean, it would be fair to say that the Demona deck has an advantage. even if it wasn't in the hands of Fred. But I don't think that the best player playing one of potentially the best decks is necessarily going to prove my point. But it is nonetheless a fair deck to play, and I'm interested to see how Fritz has decided to adjust his typical very aggressive openings, because he does, tend to play light swordsman a lot, but that's not going to do well into this matchup. So he starts off with Sonic. Fred plays Lightbringer, then he's dropping down a Glory, and he's tutoring a second Sonic. So he is going with a double Knight open at the very least. I'm assuming there's still a Wolfpack leader that will be played, just because it's good value and it can clean up a lot of things at the end. It also does tend to do well against the likes of Lightbringer, depending on how late or delayed Fred wishes to play it. And oh boy, all right, we're going to see a Regress Paladin play right off the bat. Fred, he suspected the Sonic, and so he went big. There you have it. That will put a lot of pressure on the guard, because now if Fritz plays another Sonic, then that's going to eat a guard right away, and then he still has 2 dice for Empyrean mount at some point, as well as a die for Dragon. So there you go. But Fritz instead chooses to play Wishing Wing. He's not worried about, I guess if you're going to take 4 to the face, you take 4 to the face. Lightbringer could come down, Glory swings, Paladin takes 4. Very, very fair play, and if it means not risking your knight right off the bat, that is a smart play. So yeah, Wishing Wing, which means that, is it just Koji playing the Wishing, buffing the Wishing Wing, or does he have something else? We see Fred playing Glory into Light Swordsman, so he is taking the aggro role in this case. And yeah, this, there's something to be said too. If you are worried about this type of matchup and you know that all 3 of your decks aren't really going to do well, but 2 of your decks are very, very strong that you believe in against the other matchups, you could almost sort of just fold, right? The first matchup, you know that one's not going to make it, but you keep your other options open. Well, I guess no, that doesn't make sense, because either way you have your three decks. Right, it's not like it's full eliminating. Never mind, ignore what I said. If you could not replay a deck, that would make sense. All right, so Fritz swings the Glory at the Glory, and Fred chooses to guard. So he's just going to play a very fast open. It's potential swing for... he's just going to... Okay, he wants the mount because he needs to exhaust a mana, and he just didn't want to lose anything. That's fine. Light Swordsman's going to swing anyway, but it's possible that Fritz has something to deal with the Swordsman, and then you don't have your mount target. So there you go. Hey, Charlotte. Got to bake some granola, but I thought I would say hello. Well, hello, Charlotte. I'm hoping that we get to 3 games, because there's nothing more exciting than a nail-biter of final in a match. But right now, we have got a beefy unit on Fred's side, with ultimately the Imperium mount coming up, and Fritz has decided to play Wishing Wing Hopper, and lost his very beautiful Sonic Swordsman right off the bat to a regress play. So there you go. You're all caught up. So Fred, yeah, naturally mounts. Now anything that goes down is a problem. Fritz has got 2 cards left in hand. So if he plays Wishing Wing Hopper, that's 2 dice. Wolfpack Leader would be another 2, but then he can't play his Sonic. So the other option is play the Sonic and Raptor Herder, I guess, is an option. It's also possible that he just doesn't play one of these books. That is always something that you could do. Okay, I gotta pay ooh, okay. All right. Did not see that coming. He plays a Hammer Knight. So the books are just there to be books. He's going to end up playing another double knight. I think this is very cool. And Damona's guard is already gone. Ooh la la. All right. Fritz with the triple knight open. Didn't see that coming. Very cool. All right, I've got my spreadsheets open now, so I can actually cheat and look at all the juice that they've got to play. Very spicy. I forgot that there was another knight in there. They even talked about it on stream. I watched the stream today. Very long stream, lots of good stuff talked about. But yeah, all right, very, very cool. Here we go. So we've got triple knight open. I wonder how Fred's going to manage this, because he's obviously got the one die for Lightbringer. If he plays Lightbringer, his guard's down, which means that Empyrean Mount dies as well as the Lightbringer. And then, yeah, he can play his dragon, but then the Sonic is going to eat up the dragon for another 3. This is juicy. Love to see it. Yeah, Shadow. I know. You don't see anything. That's why I'm talking so much. Gotta explain everything. All right. I'm very excited about this open. This gives Fritz some play into round 2, especially given that Fred is playing a Lightbringer. Time Hopper is an excellent answer to that. Fred probably started Ice Trap. That's what I'm guessing. It's Take to the Skies and Ice. Oh, wait, no. What am I saying? He's got the Light Swordsman in hand. So what's the other card? It has to be Take to the Skies. There's no way he... I mean, I say no way, but if he thought that Fritz was playing Wolfpack Leader, he could have Ice Trap and Light Swordsman, in which case, that's just going to be a Frog Ping. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Fred is in the think tank here. He is just eating away at his time. He's calculating out all the future moves. Fred is a very calculation intensive player. He, I would assume, is also very good at chess. He mentions playing it all the time and studying the opens, and so he's got the mind for these very, I don't know, delicate and complex situations. So he's going to swing the Empyrean Mount at Koji's face, force the Hammer Knight, and then Frog Ping it. Okay, so he definitely started Ice Trap. Definitely what he did. All right, which means he's now got a Glory, Light Swordsman, and I'm guessing Ice Trap in hand. That's what I would assume. His one of. So he played a lot of removal. Sonic goes down. This is going to eat a guard. And then it sort of does nothing if Fred could just Light Swordsman pass. Because the Swordsman swinging for 3 does nothing, and you don't really want to take another 2. Yeah. So Fred kind of gets away with some nice damage, as well as the double removal. Which, you know, is fine. Oh, he did play the mount! Okay, so it was an Ice Trap. So he just... Okay. I mean, either way, that was the right idea, because you'd lose the Divinity Mount straight away. Whoa! Wow. Fred's roll is garbage. Oh my god. That is rough. I mean, good thing he's not depending on anything here, but that is rough. 7 basics, 2 of which are his Nature and Charm dice. Yeah, don't see that often, but on a rainbow spread, that can be very, very bad. Fritz, on the other hand, 3 basics, but he's got options all day long. Very, very cool. So I am now curious to see how Fritz deals with this round 2 dragon, because he obviously can't just swing he'll eat the guard, but he'll lose everything. Does he have another knight enlist? He does have a Huntmaster. Huntmaster, and that's it. Because the rest is Old Salt, Wolfpack Leader, and Shepherd. So there's not going to be another knight coming down. He does have a Fester. Right now he's got nothing to ping Fester. He's going to keep the Time Hopper, I assume, for swinging when Lightbringer drops. Fred drops Rayward Recruit and is going to buff the Silver Paladin back up to Night Killing range. Very interesting. And of course, you don't want to guard the recruit because that's pointless. Although, with an alert unit, Sonic, you can all day. Who cares? He meditates away 2 Sympathy Pains. Is that both of them? Yes. So Sympathy Pains and his Final Cry are gone. So that's Fred's reach is gone. So you won't be winning off of the back of Burn. You still got all kinds of stuff. He probably still has the Ice Trap, I'm guessing now, if he didn't before, but he also has the option of Root Armor, which would probably make this dragon problematic. He also has an Adrenaline Rush, which could be what the Sympathy that he meditated up was. He's got 1 River Scald. I'm not sure what that... Oh, I mean, he could also be playing Hippo, going for a slightly longer game. Be curious to see what this goes with, but he's also got his own Sonics, and he could just go a little bit wide. But yeah, so he meditated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his dice and played the Rayward. So now we'll see. Fritz is in his own tank right now. Fred's clock is at 11 minutes, which, considering that we're only top of round 2, is quite a lot of time spent on thinking through that last round. Fritz is counting down from 14 minutes now. And I am curious because he's got to be worried about Ice Trap just completely ruining his attempt at sort of counter aggro. And he's got no spin down. So that's a little bit rough. He's going to play Wishing Wing. Does he play? And he plays Koji. Okay. He uses Koji. He wants to keep that Hopper for the Lightbringer, which I think is the absolute right play here. Because the Lightbringer ruins your day. Right now, Fred would be swinging for 7, which would put Fritz at 5, which is not great. If this Divinity Mount dies, Fred is going to lose 3 life, so he'll still be at 12. So he's still looking quite pretty. But like I said, he does not have that rush, and he does not have any fire archers. I'm surprised he doesn't have 1 fire archer. You can never go wrong when you're using mounts and having Shepherd of Lost Souls having 1 fire archer. I just think there's too many games where it comes down to you needing that 1 point of damage, and losing a Final Cry, in my opinion, is like, it just means it's done. You don't have reach, but losing a fire archer means you can always recur it, even if it takes 2 rounds or 2 turns. All right, so Light Swordsman comes down, swings at the Wishing Wing. Does Fritz have any? He's got Fork Lightning. No, he doesn't have any AoE. So he's got Fork Lightning that he could use, but the Rayward Recruit is a little bit of a problem here. So he's just sort of biding his time. I would guess that Fred has a Sonic in hand. And the Ice Trap. He's got 3 cards. 3 cards and 8 dice to spend. So Sonic, Lightbringer is 4. Ice Trap would be 5. He could have another Glory. Actually, he doesn't necessarily have to have a Sonic. He could have a Glory to tutor the Sonic and get that second Divine Die. He's also got the option now of immediately mounting this Light Swordsman if it doesn't die. So Fritz is now in the tank. What do you do? Does he have any good removal for these 3-lifers? He's got the Fester, but he's not showing power side, and he hasn't meditated for it. So the whole like Fork Fester isn't gonna work. He's got 1 herder in the bin, but that would just be bad news. He could have his old salt, but I would have assumed he would just drop it at this point and kill off the light swordsman if that was the case. The issue is, I guess, that then the railroad recruit swings at the swordsman. You don't want to guard it, and so you end up just giving Fred the option to mount the railward. What else could he do? Huntmaster would be helpful, but he hasn't meditated up the nature die. His fate reflection's gone. Okay, what's he doing? He is playing Fork Lightning. Okay, so he's just gonna take care of this light swordsman and put a ping somewhere. Maybe put a ping on Divinity Mount. Yep, that's what he's doing. So he's at least opening up the threat of a Fester if he's hiding it. Or he has a plan to deal 2 damage. Wolfpack leader. Is it a nice trap? Did Fred... Oh, Fred did not have it. Okay, so he was bluffing, or at the very least, I mean, we always say on this channel, frog up. Never bad to have a frog. Fred is frog pinging, and then he's going to swing this Divinity Mount, which blows up the Wolfpack leader. And knowing that the Fate Reflection is dead means that is dead. Does he trade the Sonic is the question for 3 damage. Fritz is down to 6 dice. Fred is still on 7. He would be down 3 life here, but it is possible. How many Take to the Skies does Fred have? Fred has 2 Take to the Skies. So you could end up just being like, yeah, I'm going to sacrifice this. We'll see. I mean, ultimately, you know, card for card, effectively that frog die with the divinity swing was the equivalent of an ice trap. So it's like, wasn't that big of a deal that he didn't have it. But Fritz could have Shepherd of Lost Souls, and he could recur the Wolfpack leader, now knowing that there isn't a threat. So both of these players are using up a lot of their time really thinking through all of these actions. Fritz just takes it, just eats it. I guess, so what he could be thinking is, I can deal with it more slowly. I'm not breaking my guard. I'm not losing my Sonic. He's going to be able to force guard. And at the same time, it prevents Fred. If Fred drew into another Take to the Skies, it prevents Fred from playing another Take to the Skies. Wolfpack leader and Huntmaster meditated away. So there are no more knights in Fritz's deck. He meditated up a divine die from a class side. What is that for? Light Swordsman, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be Light Swordsman. So he's going to pull guard with Light Swordsman. He's also got the option of frog pinging now the divinity mount at any point that he chooses. Fred doesn't have any protection on that, so he's going to take at least 3 damage here. One of these units, you know, like the Sonic is going to die, or Fritz is just going to take 4 more damage. Curious if there's anything else he can do. He still has the option of playing his Time Hopper, which is good. Basically, if Fred plays Lightbringer, Hopper swings at Divinity Mount. Guarantees an easy kill. Royal Charm comes down. Okay. All right. There's only. Oh no, there are 2 paladins in Fred's list. I did not notice that. So he could. He didn't meditate up a second divine die. So he's not there on the like Royal Charm, the Old Salt, bring down a second paladin yet. Uh, or like if he was expecting maybe another Wolfpack leader, he could do that there too. What does he have to worry about? The one of Old Salt is done. One Raptor Herder is left, and I guess now that the AoE's gone, that's a consideration. He's got his own Fork Lightning, so I don't think Fritz would ever really want to play Herder. He's got 4 cards in hand. Yeah. So we know that the Fester is still in the deck. He's down now to 7 minutes on his thinking time. This is very interesting. This is a very interesting matchup. Fritz is probably trying to work out whether or not he has the ability to do effectively 7 damage this round. Because if he can, and if that 7 damage also means that the board gets cleared, he could swing for lethal the top of next round, because he also has a hopper, for instance. All right, so Fred plays Glory with the Charm power side, attaching it to Royal Charm. He's going to move Silver Paladin to hand. This is going to blow up the Old Salt and take up 4 dice. And then you would still have 2 dice left for mounting. And ideally, what Fritz wants is the ability for Fred to take a pass action, and then you can just frog ping the Divinity Mount for free and pass yourself, and then your Sonic heals up. You're not taking any more damage, and then you have top around. But Fred, in theory, has quite a few main actions. He can still swing the Glory, he can still swing the Paladin, he's still got a mount. So I don't think that's going to happen. But Fritz just takes it. He's just going to do Frog Ping, pass. And that means that Fred has to either... okay, so he's just going to swing. He's going to swing at the Old Salt, just so that he gets a mount target, gets 1 extra damage on there. It could also mean that Fred has a Fork Lightning. And then he just, keeps the Paladin there for, for free. He has not used up his guard yet, so we are potentially looking at Fred on 9 health. So they'd be tied if he swings the Sonic, but then he still has to have at least something that guards the Paladin. So Fred is going to mount up because EB passes. EB's now on the short clock. He's got 5 minutes left. Fred's got 7, almost 8 minutes, 7:48. Really not sure. It's got to be a light swordsman, but that does nothing effectively here. Does he have... Yeah. Yeah, and that light swordsman would be a very good target to just royal charm Pally, and then you're looking at a rough swing. So okay, Fred had Shepherd. He's gonna Shepherd back a River Scald. Okay, okay. Shepherd back the Scald, and then he's just next turn gonna Scald Pally the Sonic for free. That was a nice play. Or he could do it even with what's he doing? Oh, Fritz passes. No, he's not passing. What is he doing? He can't swing out. Otherwise, he's taking 8 to the face. 9 to the face. He's basically, it's lethal. Because the Lightbringer is going to come down. Can't guard anything. Yeah, this is that was a nice play from Fred. Basically ensures that he can blow up anything. Very cool. Yeah. It's a shame that Fritz doesn't run any other. Well, I'm actually surprised that neither of them really run any protection. I guess it makes more sense on the Demona side. You're just go, go, go. And that's probably also what Fritz generally has. But considering when it's open list, like one Fate Reflection feels sometimes too many. I know it's a first 5 option, but there's so much that can blow you up in this format. But again, his list is very fast, so I can understand. So he did have a herder. Okay. Okay. So yeah, they're even talking about what I mentioned before. So Fritz couldn't figure out why he didn't play Sonic, and that's because like Fred has the Charm Die there, so he could have easily played a Paladin, but instead he's gonna River Scald, blow up the Sonic. Man, Angelic Rescue would have been so nice right here. The Light Swordsman, if that's what Fritz has, I think that's what he has. I've lost track a little bit of all the plays, but I'm assuming that's what he has. Cleans up or can clean up this River Scald, or at least take guard. No, he's not even gonna. Okay. So unfortunately, Fred's just gonna get like tons of free value here. Really unfortunate. That Scald play was very nice. Gotta admit, that was a good play. Good thinking to bring it back with the Shepherd. Yeah. Fritz takes the damage, the 1 damage to face, and passes again. He's really trying to force Fred to spend this charm die just so that he doesn't lose it. So Fred says, okay. Scald, swing at Raptor Herder after charming it. So it's not going to take any damage. So there's no possibility for like a really cheap, easy time hopper counter swing there. And at this point, oh, Fritz, why are you doing that? Okay. He's going to make Fred force him to use the Lightbringer. Here comes the Time Hopper. Puts a token on the Hatchling, swings at the Lightbringer. What does Fred do? Does he guard? He doesn't guard. Okay. But he is now going to be able to clean things up. So the Paladin cleans up the Old Salt, which then attaches Divine Die to the Empyrean Mount, and the Empyrean Mount is now 4 attack. There is nothing that it can't do. Fritz passes again, and Fred is just going to take this opportunity to clean up. If it is a light swordsman, now's the time to swing. No, it's not. So he just has a hanging divine die there. Good thing he has got top of round, I guess, because otherwise that is lethal. That's 3, 6, 8, 9 on board. Springer is gonna be, yeah, I don't know. Does no. Fritz doesn't have survival of the fittest, but that would be an amazing play. That would be a great comeback. But yeah, Fritz is on 40 seconds. I don't know that he has anything anyway to really play here. There goes the last Wolfpack leader to the bin. Time Opera Book goes down. He's going to play Wishing Wing. Fred doesn't have a Frog Ping, I guess, luckily. So, oh, and there's the other Take to the Skies in the bin. So 26 seconds, 25 seconds left on Fritz's clock. Really, I don't think he has any ability to deal lethal. So it's really just a matter of Fred, like, in theory, just passing, right? Unfortunately, you can just sort of play the clock at this point. There's nothing really you can do. But yeah, Lightbringer came down. Time Hopper takes a swing at the Shepherd of Lost Souls. Fred Frog Pings the Wishing Wing, and now can swing for lethal. And there it goes. Done. Took 3 rounds, but that was very, very clean. Very different than the sort of the extreme aggressive end of Demona, where you're really all in on the punch, punch, punch. This has a lot more options, which I know Fred had mentioned during the stream that it's been rounded out to have a lot more answers and less polarization in terms of any matchups where it's an auto lose. And I think that's very smart. He's got an interesting spread, but he's got a lot of answers. It was very interesting to see what he played round 1. It really is like a round 1 mind games thing. I think Fritz played that right. He played the triple knight, and that was a great approach, especially knowing that Fred has Ice Trap and may have started that. You have to respect it. So yeah, very clean. But the fast clock really closed things out. Fritz ended up with 10 seconds, but still. Congratulations, Fred, on round 1. But this isn't a 1-game match. This is a 3-game match, potentially. Best of 3 anyway. So we're going on to the next one, I'm assuming. Whenever they're ready, I will see what's going on. All right. Any thoughts, Shadow, on the match? All right, they are ready for game 2. If you're just going to grab a drink, that's fine. Anyone who's watching, grab yourself a drink, go to the bathroom, and then we will get back to the next match. That was exciting. So now, this is the fun question for Fritz, right? Does he just run it back? Does he run the Koji list back? Hope for, because that I know is his comfort pick. Get that win. Fred, what is Fred's options? Fred is his Rindek and a Mayoni list. So, does Fritz take a chance with one of his other decks, his James list, for instance? I think that's his Sonic and Swordsman and Soulfire, sorry. That could play very cleanly, or does he just take another shot with the Koji aggro? Dura, why didn't you say hello? You should have some thoughts. Get some thoughts. Put some thoughts in that head. Go see The Wizard of Oz. Get yourself a brain. I need people with thoughts in chat, letting me know what to say, what to do. But yeah, so should be an interesting choice, I think, for Fritz. I'm curious what he does. I really like his Vicky list. I think it is super solid. Does it play into Mayoni or Rin? Uh, Possibly, yeah. I totally see it. Probably not into Mayoni as much. Like Cerulean Diver, and even Shade Prowler into Mayoni is not ideal. Um, Same with the James deck, right? Like realistically, those are lower to the ground and could potentially feed the snake. However, Vicky List has Keepsake. It has Magnificence. It's got a lot of stuff. Does Fred's have any protection? What has he got? He's got one Fate Reflection. Um, but I don't know if that's enough. He's got one Root Armor, which is enough to stop from, you know, a lot of the ping damage, because Magnificence also swaps. So I would assume that he plays Snake Root Armor and just sits it there, because the Vicky list doesn't have any like guarantee hard removal. It doesn't have Fester, it doesn't have Two Shadows, doesn't have Shatter Pulse, whatever. So probably not. So we'll see what goes on for game 2. I would assume that Fred plays the Ren deck just because it's a very strong deck. It also has a lot of ping protection, and it's just sort of always been his baby. Like he's won a ton of tournaments with it. He keeps perfecting it. This one's a little different because it's got Cloudburst Griffin, which is a lot more aggressive. But it's got a ton of removal fasters and 3 Fork Lightnings, Nature's Wrath, Clashing Tempers, but like it's just got the whole works. So I would assume that's what he plays. And then the question is that fast enough to beat Swordsman Soulfire or Fritz's Koji if he runs it back? We'll see. We are going to see. What's in the chat? Something you said it must have happened. I could hear you hyping from the other room. Well, thank you, Charlotte. I'm glad that you have me on full volume. Woohoo! Go hype. Go APQ. Because he's leaning on in the chat. Yeah. At the end of the work brain, or there you go. At the end of the work week, my brain is brutalized puddle. Yeah, well, mine's not great either. Okay, we are in game 2, and Fritz has decided to play his Swordsman and Soulfire James list. This is, I guess, similar in some ways with the color spread. It's lacking the ceremonial, but it makes up for that with 2 more sympathy and 1 more divine. It is very, very aggressive as far as I remember. It was also the one he won 1 or 2 LKAs with. I think he also ran it in the collection, did very well. And Fred is, of course, running his Rin deck. So the question now is, with an overloaded spell board on Rin's side, what does he choose? Almost certainly plays Adaptodon. I don't think I've ever seen Fred not play Adaptodon when he has the chance. Emperor Lion is probably very good in this matchup because it's a nice alert unit. It also gives you a little bit of burn. And there's no, like, there's obviously the Sonic exhaustion, but as long as you can avoid that, there's not really a lot to worry about until a lot of allies are in the bin for Soulfire, or at least, the 1 or 2 reverberates are in the bin. So I would assume that, yeah, so he's also going to play Frost Frog, which can deal with the weenies. Diver, Cerulean meditates right away, the Diver book. Okay, so interesting, unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not like he's running Resonance or anything else. Does he run Twilight? He does run Twilight. That's just a shame then. But Fred is medding. Holy moly! So he meds 5 dice. 2 swordsmen are in the bin. Is that both of them? 2 out of 3. Clashing Tempers. Oh, so sad. Gone. And a Nature's Wrath. If I'm Fritz, I'm a little happy with those meditations. So we're starting off very simple, very classic. Glory Aspirant into Light Swordsman for the James player. And then he tutors another card. Glory. Another Glory. Glory, Glory, Gloria, Gloria, Light Swordsman, Light Swordsman. It's just a spam of Quick Strike, and this is going to be a very interesting matchup, especially where and which unit Fred chooses to play his ice buffs. I don't know if he started Shattering Fist. I mean, it works in all situations, but I could also see him just sort of playing double knights or extra aggro or whatever, playing a strong 4-book. So he's going to play Emperor Line. Okie dokie. Emperor Lion, Frostfrog. It's got to be Donnie. There's no way it's not Donnie as the 3rd book. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 cards. So it could be Shattering and then Hammer Knight. Given that he meditated up his ceremonial dice, I would say that that's probably a safe bet. It's also very good having double alert units into all of this Light Swordsman spam. The question is, how is he going to deal with some of these glory chips, if you will? Lightbringer coming down, pulling that Emperor Lion right out of his comfort zone. It is going to get the overkill damage, so it is what it is. And James is already hurting himself. But this game is not going to go very long. I think this is going to be a faster game than the first game, which is interesting when you consider that the first game was between a super aggressive Koji list that can win top of round 2 and a very aggressive Demona list that can win top of round 2. So here we go. Emperor Lion is swinging at the glory, takes the damage, gives the damage, and now the Lightbringer is going to put another damage. And at no point have any guards been spent. All right, so now Fred is going to play Frostfrog. He's ready for whatever comes his way. He's going to ice buff it, so that it is now very hard to ping away. No frog pings for this James player. But I would suspect that that's not what's in his game plan anyway. Light Swordsman comes down, pulls guard, bada boom. I mean, the Donnie's going to get his own buff and, does whatever. Actually, no. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, no, I can still count dice. I can still do it. That's what I'm suspecting. The Divine Die is Shattering Fist. Donnie. Wait, did he meditate 2 ceremonial? Am I crazy? Gotta pay attention. He did. Does he have widows? Oh no, he's got Fester. Did he do Fester Hammer Knight and something? Frostfrog swings at the Light Swordsman. Does James guard? He's gonna lose it anyway, so I don't think you do. It's just unfortunate. But you pulled the guard at least on Loren's side. Yeah, just lets it go. I'd be curious if he played Shepherd for even more light swords. No, he's already got a second one in hand. What am I talking about? That would be crazy. Snapper could come down, though, eat up that Lightbringer, put some more pressure on whatever Fred's got. What could he have done? What did Fred do? Did he... I think he's got Ping Fester. Ping Fester, Donnie, Shattering Fist. Could be. Double removal. To consider a double night open. I think that was what happened. Oh no, okay. Hammer Knight it is. Hammer Knight Root Armor. Whoa. Okay. Cool. Hammer Knight Root Armor, which means it's still Pink Fester. Yep. Wow. Okay. Okay. I like it. I dig it. Sonic's going to come down, and then it's going to exhaust this Hammer Knight, which will be fun. Not. Okay. Very cool. Oh, no, but yeah, but you can't because you're just going to get Pink Festered away. What am I talking about? Can he eat away at any of this? Can he chip? I mean, he can just leave Rin with only the Hammer Knight, and then Fred ends up using the Frog Ping. And if he does, then the Fester is basically offline. So yeah, I think, and Fritz got 6 dice. He's got a lot of time, a lot of outs. I'm liking this round 1. It's a fun round 1. Lots of mind games. So the Seafoam Snapper eats up the juicy little frog. Who knew that turtles ate frogs? I should know. I was watching Zaboomafoo earlier today. Kratz Creatures. All right. I'm getting a little silly. I've never done 2 games in a row. Here it comes. Sonic Swordsman. He's just going to accept his fate. Bing. Fester. Boom. Done. Yep. Come on, Fritz. Didn't you see that coming? I guess you have to play it, right? There's 3 Festers. You got to do it. You got to do what you got to do. Glory's coming down. What's he got? What's he got? Wait, I'm behind him. Light Swordsman. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was behind in my game log. All right, so Light Swordsman comes in and cleans. Oh no, sorry, Frogping cleans up the Emperor Lion, and now you can't. I guess you just Light Swordsman pass, but that's a little not great. I guess he's basically challenging Fred to like trade damage, right? So yeah, he's gonna eat the guard, and then he's gonna counterpunch for 2 because he can't clean up the root armor. Makes sense. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's how I would play it. James has got higher starting life. You know, you're gonna get you're not gonna get top around swing anyway to get by. And you know you're probably going to lose it. And if you do, at least the root armor Hammer Knight isn't there to pressure anything. But Fred did roll very nice. 2 Frog Pings. Could easily get rid of it right away. Pop. Just keep carrying over that 4 dice value. Hey, Lai Chen Yin, that's Alfred, right? Alfredo, are you in the chat? Is that you? All right. So, ooh, that's a rough one. Fork Lightning. Well, it's good that he got, I guess, some value out of it. But that's not what you want to see to start the round. Ouch. Oh, Fred, you mean person. Fork Lightning pass. Wow. Tell him how you really feel. Curious if Fritz just is like, okay, because he rolled poorly. He's gonna play the Lightbringer. Okay, he's just gonna like. Oh, okay. Fred's got his own Light Swordsman. Swings at the Snapper. He's not gonna guard this. You don't guard this. Do not guard this. You just let it die. It's a Snapper. Who cares? And then the Lightbringer swings at the Light Swordsman, and then actually no. Rin might ice buff the Swordsman. No, you can't. What am I talking about? He's side action swung. Yeah, he's got 3 of those. 2 of them are in the bin, luckily, but he did have that 3rd. So he's not going to summon the Emperor Lion. which if I am Fritz, I'm probably quite happy with because 2 alert knights is problematic. Of course, that's not to say that he doesn't have another hammer knight in hand. Oof. But yeah, in the deck tech, you gotta pay attention to the deck tech. Lightsbringer cleans up the light swordsman. Honestly, I think Fritz is ahead. Like, yeah, there's a big unit on the board, but you're just trading away these chippies, and he's still got 16 cards. He's still got a full mitten in his hand. He doesn't have to worry about the Emperor Lion. He's got answers for the Frost Frog. He's got a Snapper. Like he's got a lot of options. Does he have Raptor Herders? He does, so he could also threaten other things. Although he's got to be worried about one Wrath. Yeah, could also be another Fork Lightning. Fred could have just been like, oh yeah, I'll play double Fork Lightning this round because almost everything is low to the ground. And James has only two Shepherds. Huh. I am surprised that he doesn't run 3. I guess, like, you're running 16 allies, and some of them are going to get purged, so it is what it is. Okay. So, Ice Buff on a Frost Frog makes a lot of sense. Now we're seeing an Alchemist to get some dice fixing in, get some card fixing in. It's a good unit. I somehow am too dumb to make it work, but it is a good unit. And then James is going to convene his Shepherd of Lost Souls. So there you have it. More weenies coming up. Or is it instead for a Sonic? Who knows? Although he didn't raise those dice, which is interesting. He raised the class die, the class nature, and the class time, which makes sense for a Snapper. But what is the frog for? That's what I'm wondering. Is it just a frog ping? The heck? Why did he do that? Huntmaster. Okay, you got to pay attention to the lists, people. All right, Frost Frog swings and pings the. Oh no. Wait, what? Frost Frog chooses an action defender. Oh yeah, it did. It did. Just swing. Got it. Okay. Snapper comes down, eats up the Lightbringer, and now Fred passes. Okay. Fred is ahead on board, but they're even on dice. And the Snapper is definitely going to swing at the Frost Frog. I don't know why I would not. Again, I'm not sure you really care about, like, I don't think you have to worry about this Hammer Knight threatening. Okay, so he's going double knight. He's gonna do hunt. Oh no, Huntmaster's in the bin. Guys, what am I doing? Is it double Sonic and a Frog Ping? What am I missing here? Why would he meditate? It's got to be a Frog Ping. It's got to be Frog Up. Frog Up tech, the best tech in the game. There's no other reason for it. You could exhaust this Hammer Knight very easily. Unless Fred just doesn't care. He's just like, whatever. I'm just going to let everything die and then eat the Sonic Guard. It's probably what he does. Fred's a very patient player. The clocks are still above 10 minutes. We've got plenty of thinking time to think and or daydream away. Who knows? Sometimes you don't want to calculate the plays. You just want to put your head back and take a deep breath. All right, here it goes. Fred uses a Frog Ping to threaten the kill, swings at the Sonic. Fritz guards. Fritz counter swings. Fred guards. It's a whole lot going on. And now we see what? What's Fred doing? Old Salt. No, meditates. Meditates. So 2 Festers are now in the bin. And he did have another Hammer Knight. Man, you would think that I was just full of like open hand knowledge here. I don't know why I can't think of these things when I play, and I can't commentate when I play. But boy, when I watch people play, these thoughts are thinking, people. All right, so that Sonic is definitely dead, dead. And you don't really want to risk a Sonic yet because it just dies right away. Although, oh, Soulfire! Yes. Don't ever get to see it because I basically never play James. And James he sort of like fell off. Fritz is the one who plays him, but no one else seems to. And it's good. He's good. It's funny. I played more James before Red Rains than I did post Red Rains. And this isn't even like a crazy, Widows type of James or whatever. Just good old classic swordsman. What was very funny to me is Fred and Fritz on the open deck list reveal stream. We're talking about how Light Swordsman is the best ally in the game. And when I started, nobody played Light Swordsman. It was considered pretty poor, mainly because you couldn't tutor it and it dies pretty easily. And it was just not considered very good. But Rin was also not considered very good. And Koji wasn't considered very good. And James was not good. And Beast Tamer was not good. Red Rains has done absolute wonders for flushing or filling out the value that cards can bring and making cards that were not played as much. Royal Charm, that was a card that was niche at best. So it's very, very cool to see what has happened with the card pool and how so many cards are so much better than they were before. But the cards that were already good did not necessarily get even better. So it just made so many cards more viable. Hence the draft and Ashes 500. Those are great formats. If you guys aren't paying attention, you should. Oh, another Soulfire! Alfred, maybe you don't remember Shuffle Bus chats, but they trashed Tamer, especially Neil. I would argue for so long about how it's one of the best units in the game. But yeah, anyway. Sorry. Shadow, you asked what life totals are at? What? There's too much action going on. Fritz is at 10 life remaining, and Fred is at 10 life remaining. The Sonic is now dead. The Snapper swung. Oh my god. They played really fast there. So it was a double Soulfire play. And Shepherd to move another Sonic back. That's what it was. Okay. Sorry. Now I got to catch up on chat. Why did everything explode at the same time? Because Liam shadows, it's all protein. Yeah, 13%. I think that's because stress. Yeah, it's just very hard. Yeah, the side action plus power costing. Yeah, no. Totally agree, Shadow. That was the problem. But now it's just so good. Anyway, I never thought Light Swordsman was bad. I'm just saying it was considered not great value, and it's just funny to think how many cards were like that. In the same way that some cards have now taken more of a backseat, like Frostback Bear, for instance. Okay, so a lot went on, and Fred says he couldn't see the exiled card. Okay. Compact layout. Yeah, you guys got to watch out with the compact layouts. Lightbringer comes down. It is now making this Hammer Knight go away. So this is the third hammer. This is the third and final Hammer Knight, guys. There are no more Hammer Knights after this. Could, of course, recur them. Doesn't have any Shepherded Lost Souls, but he does have Ceremonial Power. But this Hammer Knight is finally going to do basically nothing. It takes 2 units out, but so what? Doesn't really matter. This is now where potentially Fritz turns the corner, turns on the gas. That's not how a car works, but you know what I mean. Yeah, puts on some pressure. They are lower in their piles. Draw 9 for Fritz, draw 7 for Fred. 8 minutes on each clock. Round 3. We've still got plenty of game to go. They were basically tied with life. So I'm curious to see. Whoa, that's unfortunate. Oh, okay. Third Soulfire gone, but first Reverberate is gone. So that means now the Reverberates are going to be online. The good Reverberates. Is Cricket good because of Nominee? Fred, stop playing Nominee. Nominee is not good. Cricket was never good. It's just broken in the hands of one very specific player. Red King is too good at all the cards that are not good. Encore is good because of Encore was good before Reverberate. Encore was good because of Molten Gold, and then Molten Gold got eroded, and now Reverberate is like the other alternative. But I don't know if it's that good. I mean, it's good. It's 3 pings, but I don't know. She's still a useless Phoenixborn. All right, Fritz found his 1 Cerulean Diver book. It's not going to help in terms of the frog ping or the focus ping is not available, but it is now a cheap unit on board to make up for all the allies that he has burned through. So it gives him a little bit to go on. Emperor Lion is coming down. Just keep playing these alert units. 3 dice spent on Fritz's side, 4 dice spent on Fred's side. We have seen all the Festers go away. We've seen all the Hammer Knights, all the Light Swordsmen. We have seen 1 Nature's Wrath. We have not seen all the Old Salts. We've only seen 1 Old Salt. Fire Archer's still in deck. Blood Chains, 2 Fork Lightnings are still there. Gotta watch out playing low to the ground. And then all the books. Basically, oh yeah, the Adapted On book came down. Fred could still draw into Cloudburst Griffin, for instance. Not this turn. He's not gonna. I mean, he could have drawn it, and you're not going to be able to play it because the time dice is gone. But that could be a thing. What else did he have? Griffin, Emperor Frog, Lightbringer. Right. Yeah. So we'll see. Fred passes after meditating up a frog die. So there's the second Old Salt. Bye-bye. Sonic. The Sonics just keep coming. Yeah, Demono's good because of Dragon, sure. I mean, it's hard. Yeah, Demono was good before because of Fallen, which was and still is, well, not still is. It was a stupid card. It is now fair, although it is over nerfed. Nerfed to the ground. It needed like a small adjustment, and it just got smacked upside the head. But I am curious because I think Kauko is running a Fallen James, so I'm curious to see where that goes. All right, Sonic swings at the Adaptodon. Fred guards. He's down to 6 life. Donnie, we have not seen a Shattering Fist played. We've seen one in the bin, but there is still. This could basically be Shattering Fist to kill the Sonic, and then he still has another adaptation. All right. So now Fritz is just applying constant pressure. Oh no, sorry, that's Fred. What am I doing? I was like, that doesn't make sense. Emperor Lion swings at the Snapper. That's going to do 1 more damage. This is where that overkill comes in very handy, which I forgot in my match against Fred when I could have won. What an idiot. No one plays Demono. Well, half true. Underrug won like at least a couple tournaments or placed in top 4 in a couple tournaments because of Demona. I think, what is it? Carl did the same. I don't remember who else played this sort of double-edged sword, poison, pick your poison type of thing, but Fallen made Demona viable. And I played against Brian's Demona recently. That was for Ashes 500 though. All right, so Shattering Fist comes in, and Adaptodon gets attacked by snappers. It dies. Fred did draw into Light Swords or Lightbringer. All right. A lot of Fred's removal is gone, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. What's James player got? He could have Diver. Does he have another Light Swordsman? I'd have to check what is going on in this discard pile. He could and probably does. He's got one more. Fork Lightning could also be a Reverberate. Could be a Huntmaster. Could be a Huntmaster, although he's not showing the dice for it. Oh yeah. I forgot No Such did it. How could I forget? I played this Herald 3-hour match. Oh, my wife says I'm sleeping under a toddler. Please bring me dinner. I will do that. I will do that. Saria is very good. I've not played her in a minute, but she is very good. But yeah, that 3-hour Herald matchup with Lightbringers into Fallen Demona was not fun. Not a fun match. No Such is my kryptonite, my nemesis. Everyone's got their one player that they just can't seem to overcome. All right. Fritz is now in the tank. The time is getting close. 4 minutes versus 5 minutes. 7 life versus 6 life. 3 dice versus 3 dice. 5 cards versus 6 cards in the draw pile. Although he's only got 2 in hand. Fritz has got 4. It's a lot going on, guys. Herald is always good. Herald is always good. I think Herald, Odette, and well, those are definitely probably like 2 of my top 2 in terms of just success. Probably Leo as well. But Herald is always good in just about any. The thing I like about Herald is he's insanely flexible. You can play him in virtually. Why I haven't seen him actually in a spin down style, but he can play mill. He can play like battlefield control. He can play burn. He can play aggro. He's just so because Mark is so good, and if you choose to play Consume Soul, you have the longer match. If you choose to play Full Moon, you have the more aggro match. The only thing I've never seen is spin down. I'd be curious to build that. But yeah, he's just generically good. Like if you're measuring Phoenixborn against each other, he's sort of the metric as to whether somebody is good or not good. I guess in my opinion. He's always been good. I think he'll always be good. He's got a good spell board, or good life, like an average life, a good battlefield, an average spell board, but he's just super flexible. Oh, Wrath. The other Wrath came down and wiped out the advantage. Aerodel, I have never really had a ton of success with. So and I've only ever lost to her, especially against Philly Cheese in the old days. So my perception is skewed. Oh, okay. I misread that. That was Lightbringer, not Fork Lightning. Okay, so the Raptor Herder is just going to trade into Lightbringer. Does he have Light Swordsman to kill this Emperor Lion? But then Fred gets 3 damage in next round. But he doesn't have... Does he have any burn? Doesn't... What does he have in his list? He's got 1 Fire Archer and the Emperor Lion. Overkill damage. So it's not like he has a ton of reach. He's going to draw down to... like he's not going into fatigue yet. Neither is Fritz. But they're both... Oh, Fritz is going to time out. He's got 1 minute. What are you doing, Fritz? If you've got the Light Swordsman, just play it and swing. All right. He's just going for the throat. Going for that group tactics swing. Fred can choose to eat 5, but he's not going to. He's going to eat 3. All right. Kills off the herder. And Fred passes. Interesting. I'm curious what he's holding. Is it a blood chains or an old salt? Could be both. Fritz could win, so it would be really... I mean, clocks are what they are to keep the games fair and reasonable and considerate of other people's times. And it sucks when you know that you could potentially have the win and you just run it out. But also, he was way ahead in time, and he just spent the last 2 turns really, really thinking. So that is what it is. Does he have any reach? He has no reach. He's got no soul fires left. He does have a reverb. Fred uses Fork Lightning. Oof. And he's got the Lightbringer now to bring out... Yeah, that's lethal, right? 1, 2... Oh no, Lion's only 2 attack now. It's not... I kept thinking it was 3 attack. Oh, come on, Fritz. You're going to have to move quick. Fred's... I'd love to see game 3. He can do it. He can force basically a mistake in calculation and just go, right? Just go, go, go. But it's not a lot of time. All right, Reverberate. Kills off the Donnie. Plays Lightbringer. Forces a swing from probably the Emperor Lion. Takes 1 damage. Overkill. Goes to 6th life. Then he's got it. Right now is when I would be planning out my turn, right? You're forcing your opponent to think, and then you play quickly. Fred is just going to go for 5 damage. No? Yeah, 5 damage. So it means he probably has the Fire Archer for 1. So what's Fritz meditating Lightbringer to get Frog Ping, meditating to get... Does he have any Light Swordsman left? Man, there's so many cards. No, right? That other one was in the bin. So it's a Sonic? It's a Sonic, probably. Yeah. Oh, there. I should just pay attention to the game. Blood Chains. Ugh. Crushes the Sonic. Beast Warrior. 30 seconds left on the clock. He's got a Frog Ping for the Lightbringer. Fred might have to play the Emperor Lion. What can... He could play an open-faced Snapper. He's basically got 3 cards left to win this. Does he have another herder? I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with everything. So I'm just going to pay attention to the game. All right, Fred meditates. Lightbringer uses it for the Emperor Lion. 2 dice left. He probably has an Old Salt in hand. Fritz has 20 seconds left on the clock, 2 life left. Fred has 3 life left. Can he do it? Rally the troops, meditates, snapper, comes down. Fred probably is going to play Old Salt if he has it here. 12 seconds left on Fritz's clock. What does he have for 2 divine dice? I don't know. Fork? Lightning? Fred meditates for a frog die. Plays Frost Frog. Fritz plays Fork Lightning, swings at the Emperor Lion. Oh, 7 seconds left. 1 minute on Fred's clock. Oh, how fast can Fritz click? He's got his 2 attack Beast Warrior. I don't know what he's got. If he's got... Oh, Fred. Oh. Oh, Shattering Fist. GG. Wow. Wow. That was exciting. I actually have to... So what happened? So Fritz played Fork Lightning, swung the Snapper, only takes 2 damage. Yeah, I think maybe that was a miscalculation. It's because I still get tripped up on the 3/3 life for the Emperor Lion. It's 2/4 now. Yeah. Oh, that Root Armor. Root Armor's a good card. GG to Fred. That was a very exciting game. Both games were very exciting. But Fred takes it 2-0. Yeah, those games were very close. I'm curious to see how both of these players do moving forward. Not the best showing for Soulfire first 5. Yeah, the first 5 probably not great if that's what he had started. Ice Trap. He doesn't have Ice Trap. Fred, what are you talking about? Okay, Fred's in space. Doesn't know what the deck list is. But that was super close. But this is like really a case where you have to manage your clock. Because if he was just a little, like if he had 1 minute extra on time and he could put these pressure points down, it's very possible that he had the win. But I think there was that one turn where he went through like 3 minutes of clock time. And that was really hard. But that is what it is. All right. So, those are just some games. They're not all my games, Alfred, but thank you. That was very exciting, and I'm going to be doing this every week. So sign up for the feature match if you want to be on stream. This is a really cool format, and I'm excited to see some of the other decks that I got to see the lists for. H-Master's lists are very cool. Calco's lists are very cool. Brankus, always good with his burn lists. Shadow's lists are very cool. So, yeah, I forget who else is in. I probably could just open the document and see who else was in there. Asterix always plays like incredibly strong control lists. So it'll be interesting to see like the matchups of very extreme control versus very extreme aggro lists. And then Rich, this is I think maybe his first tournament. And so I'll be excited to see how he performs. He's an old 1.0 player, I guess, but he's back in the community. So that will also be very exciting. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I am going to get my wife some food and maybe myself some food and just enjoy a nice evening. So let's get out of the game. If you're not janky, you're stanky. Frog up, wolf down. Have yourself a good one, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.